There's four teams left, bro. Four teams left. We have Arsenal, PSG, Inter Milan, and FC Barcelona, which is the best team in the Champions League so far. I would say. I'm not even trying to speak like this, like just because I'm a Barcelona fan. No, I'm saying facts. This Barcelona team is the best out of all. There is PSG, Arsenal. They're both very strong. I mean, obviously, you have to say that Arsenal is a good team because they have knocked out Real Madrid, who are the previous Champions League winners. So, of course, I'm going to respect the other teams. I acknowledge that PSG is a very strong team. Arsenal, they do their job with Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, and all the other players that they have. Odegaard, amazing, right? Inter Milan, there's a reason why they are in the last four of the Champions League, and that is because defensively they have been one of the best, and they have always been able to find solutions. I mean, if we go back to the match between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich, we can see that they beat Bayern 4-3. And yeah, they conceded 3 goals, but at the end of the day, overall, Inter Milan have showcased a lot of strength. They have also defeated Feyenoord, I believe, 4-1. They also defeated a couple of other teams, and they did not concede a lot. Hence the reason why they are in the last four. But here's the thing, right? Since we are a Barcelona channel, we're going to get very Inter Milan focused because I want to really analyze what this team is right now. Inter Milan in the past few games have not been at their best. In the last 3 matches, they have lost all of them. It's perfect timing for us, but not for them. So they have lost all 3 matches, and they haven't scored in those last 3 matches. So not only have they lost in the last 3 matches, but they haven't scored, and they have not kept a clean sheet in 9 games. So even though, like, if you look at the record of Inter Milan with, in the Champions League, it's okay. But like, especially in the Italian league, they're not doing good. And I do think that because Inter Milan have kind of, I would say, lowered their own confidence because of their recent results, and especially in the last 3 matches, it's going to make it much easier for us. And that's a huge, huge deal, because when we analyze both Barcelona and Inter Milan, I think that it is safe to say that Barcelona have the edge because of how much confidence they have been building compared to Inter Milan. It's all about a confidence game. Like, we cannot say here and say like, oh, like Barcelona is much better than Inter, when Inter is much better than Barcelona. There's a reason why there's 4 teams left, and there's a reason why all of these teams here are in the semifinals. Is because they have showcased strength. But Barcelona do have that slight edge, and that slight edge is the fact that they're more confident in Inter and they can solve the solutions. If they find a problem, they're like, okay, we can fix this, no problem. We're probably going to get through we're going to have to go through some obstacles here and there. It's going to be very intense, but we'll find the solution. Barcelona have that. Inter Milan, they don't. I see this Inter Milan team right now. Like, I'm talking about like the last 3 matches. It's a team that is vulnerable. And if you were to ask me 2 or 3 months ago, is Inter Milan a team that's vulnerable? No, I will tell you no. But it looks like they are having some sort of mental fatigue or physical fatigue. Even the coach, right, Simone Inzaghi or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Over the past 72 hours, he was saying that, it's too easy to blame referees for these errors, hence, the team performance, because a lot of the players and the fans were saying that it's the referee, and that's the reason why they have been losing a couple of points here and there. He also admitted that they were very poor against Roma, very insufficient in terms of pressing, defensive gaps. But he did praise the second half against Roma, but it was just not enough. And he said that, with this struggle that they are going through right now, him acknowledging that there is physical and mental fatigue in his team. Here he said this not too long ago, that they need to give everything against Barcelona. He even said something very interesting. He said, I did not even have to watch the Barcelona game against Real Madrid because I know what that team is and I know what they could do. So it does seem like the coach is starting to believe in, even for himself, that this is not going to be an easy tie. He is a little worried about his team because he does know that there is mental fatigue. There is physical fatigue. I mean, like, every team is going through that right now. Arsenal, PSG, especially Barcelona. We just finished a match that was like a total of 122 minutes. 120, like, that's insane. I like, thank God, bro, we won. Can you imagine if we freaking lost that game and we played 122 minutes for nothing, coming out from that match with no trophy? So at the very least, we got a trophy, right? So we are going through mental fatigue and physical fatigue as well. I mean, like Pedri was taken off early in the game. I saw Pedri, dude, and when he was taken off around the 88th minute or something like that, like he was taken off way before the match was about to be over. I understood why Hansi Flick did that. It's because he saw Pedri very tired, and if you're not gonna give nothing, no matter how talented you are, but if you're not gonna give nothing, you're gonna have to be taken out, and that's fine. If you're tired, that's fine. I mean, like especially with Pedri, somebody who accumulates the most minutes out of almost all players in FC Barcelona, but he looks tired. I see players like Jules Koundé a little, not as much as Pedri, but for sure he is getting up there. Rafinha is also alarming me a little bit. Maybe it's mental fatigue more than physical fatigue because when he runs, I don't see him tired. Like he runs back and forth, he pressures, he tries to make those runs behind the defensive line, all good. But like mentally, I feel like he is a little off right now. I think that could possibly explain the reason why he wasn't so focused on those opportunities that he got against Real Madrid, where he could have made it 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. He had opportunities. Rafinha did. And he shot those opportunities in the exact same way. The ball went through the exact same lane, exact same area, which was like right outside the post. And they could have been 2 goals for Rafinha, but I feel like mentally he needs to be up there again and be confident and say, I feel composed, I feel ready, I feel like I'm ready to put the ball behind the net and we move from here. So it is everybody. And like I said, man, there is some things that FC Barcelona have right now that separates them from Inter Milan, and that is the quality of the players. And like what we talked about before, it is the confidence. And I believe that is what's going to make us pull through. So going back to Inter Milan, right? Inter Milan have key players injured, like Thuram, Benjamin Pavard, Carboni. It's a huge deal, and it's going to impact them a lot. And then we have Inter Milan losing to Roma 0-1, losing to AC Milan 3-0, losing to Bologna 1-0, a tough away loss. It's insane. And here's the thing, right? I kind of find it so relieving knowing that Thuram is not going to be there. I thought Thuram was. I really did think that, because depending on whether Thuram was going to be there, yes or no, that was greatly linked towards my predicted starting 11, and especially in the defense, because Thuram is a physical monster, somebody who can win those 1v1 ground duels or aerial duels, and he's a striker. And we have seen players like Kubarsi struggle a lot to trying to defend against very physical, tall, monster strikers. We have seen that with Sorlath, right? Sorlath with Atletico Madrid was punishing Kubarsi in every physical duel, and because of that physicalness that Sorlath was winning, it allowed Atletico Madrid to progress. And so I was worried. I'm like, okay, if Thuram plays in this game, most likely he's going to punk Kubarsi a lot. And that is one of the weaknesses of Kubarsi. Does this mean that Kubarsi is a weak defender, that he shouldn't deserve to start? No, of course not. We have talked about this multiple times. There's different players that you must select for different games. For the match against Real Madrid, it worked a lot to have Kubarsi at the back because of his ball distributions. Hence the reason why Kubarsi never left that defensive line. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he never left. Hansi Flick did not even think about taking Kubarsi out, and he said, Inigo Martinez, you're going to have to go to the left back position. Kubarsi and Araujo are going to be my main center back pairing. So it makes sense for Kubarsi to start against Real Madrid. And going into this match against Inter Milan, knowing that Thuram is not going to be there no more, there's only one physical monster left, but not as strong as Thuram, and that is Lautaro Martinez. But I think that Inigo Martinez, I get it. Lautaro Martinez, Inigo Martinez, the Martinez brothers, right? I think that Inigo Martinez can defend Lautaro by himself, and Kubarsi can just worry about the simple ball distribution duties, which is he's so good at, and just making sure that those interceptions are made, those tackles are also made. It's what ultimately led towards Barcelona's first goal, right? Kubarsi's interception, that through ball that he got, he gained possession, passes to Pedri, long ball to Yamal to Pedri goal, right? So Kubarsi has a lot to offer, and if Thuram were to have started and he was available in this first leg, at the very least, because I don't know what's going to happen in the second leg, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. But if Thuram if he were to have started in this game, I would have not put Kubarsi. I would have Araujo and Inigo Martinez at the back. I would do that. But because Thuram is not going to be there, I'm fine. Kubarsi, Inigo Martinez will have Gerard Martin or Balde, whoever's available on the left back position. They can go there. That's fine with me. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Part of me does want to see a backline of Kunde, Inigo Martinez, Araujo, and who would I say? Kubarsi, Araujo, Inigo Martinez, and Jules Kunde again. I want to see that again. 4 total center backs at the back, and I felt safe. Like I felt safe seeing that. Like Real Madrid could not do anything, and they have the most pacey players in the world, which is Mbappe and Vini. They had Rodrigo. All those players, and none of them had answers for that 4-man defensive line that contained all center backs. I would like to see that against Inter Milan, but honestly, Inter Milan do not have the same firepower. I think that FC Barcelona have to be much more attack focused in this game more than anything else, because Inter Milan are going to defend for their lives. They will, and that's it, right? Like I do have some key points about Inter Milan and how they like to defend, and based off this information, that is what's going to lead me towards why I choose the predicted 11 in the first place, right? And I'm going to be talking about that in just a few minutes, but let's talk about Inter Milan. Right. Let me click on here and change the scenery, since we're now going to get much more focused. Wednesday. Okay, we have this head to head. Let's just do that. We'll do a preview so you guys can see what has been going on. We'll just leave it like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so Inter Milan prefer to defend on a 5-3-2 formation for defense. They love to do that, and that is, god damn it, bro, that is a headache. You know what I'm saying? 5-3-2 formation defense. I swear to God, bro, like, honestly, what I think Inter Milan are going to try and do is to defend on a 5-3-2, have like 8 to 9 men at the back, try and really go for a 0-0, and then try to go all out in the second leg at their home, where it's going to be so tough with all their fans, and score 1 to 2 goals. I feel like that is what their game plan is going to be, because, dude, here's the thing. I expect Barcelona to have the exact same scenario like they had with Dortmund, okay? Like, Barcelona are going to have to really, really focus on scoring as many goals as possible, because you just don't know how that second leg is going to turn out. There's a reason why Barcelona scored 4 goals against Dortmund in the first leg, and that's because they knew that in the second leg something was going to change with Dortmund, and that's why we saw Dortmund win 3-1, dude. So thank God Barcelona scored 4, right? So the same thing is going to have to go on with FC Barcelona and Inter Milan. It's going to be the exact same thing. And Barcelona is going to have to score as many goals as possible. Olmo has to be there. Rafinha has to be there. Lamine Yamal has to be there. But going back to Inter Milan, they're very focused on high pressing. They're disciplined in their tactics to disrupt the opponents. And based off like my research here, 5-3-2 formation. They're very compact. They like to close the central areas and force the opponents wide. Okay, that's very key. They like to force their opponents wide. Okay, they're quick. Let me see. They are known for disciplined pressing, high up the pitch, man-to-man marking to disrupt a build-up play. So expect a lot of 1v1 duels between Inter Milan and Barcelona. Our favorite, because Yamal and Rafinha and Pedri are like the best in the world at that. So already they're going to fall in our trap, if assuming this is what Inter Milan do, because I'm just going based off the research that Inter Milan have been implementing in the past 10 matches. This is data from the past 10 games. We have seen them do man-to-man pressing, go high up the pitch. I don't know if they're going to do that against Barcelona. Like I said, it's a knockout match. It's the first leg. It's away from their home, and they might just say, "No, screw that. Screw that. We're just going to have 9 men at the back, sit there, and let Barcelona struggle. And maybe if Barcelona end up winning this game 1-0, so be it. We're going to go into the second leg and try and score 2 or 3. Dangerous, very dangerous. So, low press formation. It is the 5-3-2. They like to squeeze the pitch. They're very quick in defensive transitions because of their long balls. And so, because of all these things, I expect Inter Milan to defend heavily, and this is going to be my predicted starting 11. Okay, I'm gonna have Tech in goal. We're gonna be having Jules Koundé, Kubarsi, Inigo Martinez, and Gerard Martin at the back, and then I will say Pedri and Frankie double pivot, and then our attack attacking four is going to be Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo as the 10, Rafinha on the left, and Ferran Torres as the striker. Very similar starting 11 that we saw versus Real Madrid. So it's really not that hard to predict, right? I mean, we have several players that will be missing this game. Like Lewandowski is not going to be there. We do not know about Balde. There has been like some talks about Balde maybe making it, but I don't think so. I doubt it. I think that we're going to have to continue with Martin, 99%. Some people are saying like, oh yeah, Balde is going to be there because we saw him run during the celebration. Bro, that's different. Who the hell analyzes a celebration run? It doesn't make any sense. So let's see. 5-2, Copa del Rey final after extra time. Okay, so Barcelona, yeah. So when I compare the results of Barcelona and Inter in the past 3 matches, Inter Milan, like I said, no confidence whatsoever. Haven't scored. Lost all 3. Barcelona, on the other end, they have defeated Mallorca 1-0. They have defeated Celta Vigo 4-3. Real Madrid 3-2. Much better form. We continue to not have Bernal, Casado, Balde, Lewandowski, and that's it. And that is why, hence the reason why I have this 11 with Fran up top, Rafinha left, Olmo middle, number 10, Yamal on the right side, Frankie, Pedri, Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi, Jules Koundé, Gerard Martin, and Tech. So that is it, right? That is going to be my early pre-match preview. And that's it. Like I see, my adrenaline is already like gearing up. Like if you see me like stop sometimes in the middle of my speeches because my adrenaline is like getting injected, and then I start thinking about multiple scenarios on what Barcelona should do against Inter. I don't know why. It's a weird way I process information, but it is going to be difficult. And I pray, right? I pray that Barcelona get the job done in the first leg. I want to see a 3-0 win. I know that sounds very I would just say not practical, not realistic, because it is Inter. But bro, if Inter is gonna concede as many goals as they did in the past 3 matches, I don't see why Barcelona cannot do the same. And they have better attackers. So like what? You know what I'm saying? So you can say, oh, Kevin, you're not being humble, or you gotta watch what you wish for. You might be jinx it. Nah, bro, I don't believe in any of that. So that's it. Players like Yamal are going to be key. Rafinha is going to have to be on point. Rafinha, bro, you owe us because you missed like 3 chances. You missed like 3, and I need you to score more. And the fact that Inter Milan like to force the ball on the wings and look for those like 1v1 duels, Rafinha, you have to score when you get those chances. Ferran will lay those balls to you. Pedri will lay those balls to you, and you have to score. We need you big time. You are Mr. Champions League, as a matter of fact. You're setting goal scoring records that look very close to Messi and Ronaldo. Rafinha, I'm talking to you, bro. You, okay? You are the one that's putting numbers close to Messi and Ronaldo, and we're gonna need you to show up because what we saw in the Copa del Rey, you gave us heart attacks for no reason. You made us stress for no reason. You made us de-age. No, like age up because of that game. I was gonna say de-age. No, only the Champions League. Us winning the Champions League will make me de-age, and all Barcelona fans. But excuse me. But yeah, Mr. Champions League is your time. We have the match against Inter, and let's do this, right? That's it. I expect more, right? More from Pedri, even though he has been amazing, but we need him even more than ever before. Grab those assists, more from Yamal, more from Ferran, and take advantage of the chances. Because I do think Inter Milan will also have chances as well, but it's not going to be as many as Barcelona. And so I expect Inter to be very clinical and try to be very lethal and very efficient with their chances. So careful. More videos are going to be coming up. I'm going to be having way more match previews leading to this match against Inter because it is on Wednesday, and we're probably going to be finding out new information about these players and what's currently going on in the world of FC Barcelona within the next 72 hours. So cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.